Very well. So, welcome everyone. Once again, it's great to have you here. The EPF6, and today is a special one because we have also some visiting people from the EPF5. So, it's our first office hours. Let's start with a bit of a context. Um, just to reiterate on how the fellowship goes from now on, we have the Monday stand-ups. We had an introduction this Monday. Next Monday will be a regular stand-up, and on Wednesday we have office hours, which are special up to discussion topic sessions, which mostly host somebody with experience in core development, somebody to help to guide you throughout the fellowship, somebody to answer your questions, and we invite people from across the client teams. We invite people from research or people who previously did something interesting. But because we are starting the fellowship just now, we thought of doing something special, and we invited not one, not two, but three speakers today. We have Katya, I see Rahul, and Daniel here. All successful fellows from previous year, so the most recent people who finished the fellowship and ended up joining us. So yeah, thanks for being here, all of you guys. I think it's great to have you here to just provide some inspiration, advice for the people who are starting just now. And yeah, if you can just introduce yourself, let's start with that. If you can tell us a bit about yourself, where you're coming from, what you did in fellowship, and what do you do now, just shortly about yourself, about your work. Yeah. Whoever wants to start, I want to say ladies first, but it's up to you guys. No, okay. So whoever has the confidence, yeah, to kick it off.
I can start if you want.
Go for it.
Hey, I'm Daniel. As Mario said, I was a fellow in previous years EPF, and yeah, uh, it was an amazing experience. And yeah, before doing EPF, I was in a non-Ethereum context, a developer, and several years before EPF, I kind of got an interest in Ethereum and um, went to a few hackathons and realized that it's really fun to work on Ethereum. Like it's a just you know being such a complex topic and having so many different areas where expertise is needed was really fun as a hobby. And after some time, I finished my studies and decided I want to try and become a core developer because that's the part of Ethereum that was the most fun to me. Um, so I applied for EPF and was luckily accepted. So last year I did my project, which was network simulations using software called Shadow, where I basically ran the several Ethereum clients in a simulation and tested some things, especially uh, with regards to PeerDAS, which is upcoming upgrade. Um, and yeah, after a while, or during my EPF project, I was in contact with my mentor, which was Adrian Manning from Sigma Prime, who works on Lighthouse and CL client. And yeah, after a while, yeah, he was basically like, "Do you want to interview with us?" And so then I joined Sigma Prime in November, and yeah, now I'm working currently still on another project in Sigma Prime, but shifting my attention more to Lighthouse in the recent weeks.
Uh, I'm Rahul. My background is very similar to that of Daniel's in that I've been doing some Web2 stuff previously. Um, I joined first the study group, which Mario and Josh held like a precursor to the fellowship. Then I was accepted to the fellowship where I did some work on EVM, especially the pricing bits of EVM, where I looked at whether the pricing for memory could be revised. Uh, and yeah, I did some work around that with a team in EF called Epsilon. Um, and yeah, I continued working on it for a while. And January this year, I uh, you know became a got to join EF. And in EF, I work with a team of researcher. We basically like prototype upcoming EIPs. So I do most of research engineering works, but I like look at an EIP and see how things would play out, whether parameters can be adjusted, work with client teams to help implement them. Basically getting the legwork done for EIP implementations. I'm working currently on an EIP called Block Level Access List, which is being targeted for Amsterdam. So yeah, that's what my background is and what I'm currently working on.
Hello, thank you for having us, Mario. It's like good old times. I feel still a fellow. My background is Web2 development. It's kind of enterprise corporate development more than 10 plus years. And I switched to crypto, to Web3 in I started interested in it 2017 or 18, and then I fully switched in 2022. Yeah, I worked for a startup, doing smart contracts, doing testing stuff with DeFi platform. Yeah, I've been just active in the space, a lot of conferences, a lot of hackathons, and I joined Winning Theory protocol cohorts and started contributing to the protocol. And then, that's where I found out about the fellowship and applied and joined the fellowship. And my project was standardizing pure test metrics, which means that for testing clients, we need kind of the same metrics just to have the same benchmarks. And while running the testnet, this is what I've started during my fellowship, and I still continue and maintain this repo. We're progressing in this. So that's really important for testing phase. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say that I contribute to low star current. Sorry, a little bit nervous. Yeah, just joined recently. I am kind of outsourced contributor currently. It's like a different type of contract.
Very well. Thanks, everyone. And as you can see, we have three people here representing also like different sorts of experience that you can get in the EPF or outcomes that you can expect after EPF. I chose three of you folks. Well, not just because I bumped into you last week and it was easy to ask you to come, but you guys did a great job. You, I think, are the example of successful fellows. But also, there are many other great successful fellows, of course. But these are also great examples of people who've been working on different projects, took different paths, had different challenges, and now we have so Daniel, who ended up being onboarded directly to a client team, Katya, who was working on a grant more independently, and Rahul, who joined a research team. So basically three kind of outcomes you can hope for, three different kind of outcomes you can hope for after the EPF. But let's get back to the fellowship, because you also had different starts in the fellowship, different challenges that you faced. Rahul, as he mentioned, started all the way when the first study group started last year. Daniel actually had to join a bit later the cohort because he was still finishing his work. So my question for you guys is, what was some maybe something that caught you off guard, something unexpected during the cohort that you had to deal with, or maybe something that changed some assumptions you had about the core development or Ethereum. What was something, yeah, surprising, some challenge that you didn't expect during the fellowship? Um, if you have any thoughts, feel free to speak up.
Yeah, for me, it was challenging because I didn't contribute into the protocol before, so it was all new for me, just protocol development, and that is why you needed to learn a lot, like from specs to EAPs and to P2P, everything, like a lot of things to learn from scratch. That was the challenging part.
Yeah, kind of adjacent to what Katja said. Um, there's, as I also said in my introduction, it's nice that there's like so many areas in Ethereum that you can invest your time in. But it's also a curse because there is so much, and especially like during this first phase of EPF, which was cut short, as Mario said, for me, just researching all the different areas was challenging, and then also staying focused on the one area you picked your project on. Like, it's of course it's nice to have a general overview of what's going on in Ethereum right now, and that's also important. But just don't expect from yourself that you can follow all that in complete detail. That's impossible. So yeah, I guess that was a challenge I didn't really anticipate. Yeah.
For me, I think like I started looking into even within my topic a lot of resources that went back in time. So it's ideally good to find a cutoff in the time that you invest into researching. So if I were to start over, I'd probably do the bare minimum of reading and then get get to coding or whatever project outcomes are supposed to do, than reading up a lot of things that are and going sideways. It's very difficult to lose time if you keep reading stuff, and then you can always come back and read more. But if I were to do it again, like I said, I'd just do the bare minimum stuff, and then start iterating on that.
A couple more questions I just want to mention again, folks. This is an AMA, so anybody can ask questions. We have 40 people here listening, so please feel free to write your questions to the comments. But I think I might not see all the messages coming. You can use Discord. You can raise your hand. So I will open more for the audience. Feel free to use the raise in the hand feature in Discord. Sorry, in Jitsi here. And just to continue with one more question from me. Meanwhile, while you get your questions ready. So yeah, actually, this is I think Katya is a great inspiration here. I think you were the one always asking questions at these office hours. Like she, a huge respect for that. Like she never, or she always took it up. But also a bunch of other people, of course. But I remember Katya specifically always took the chance to ask some question, make a connection with the mentor, and has some insightful questions. So I think that's one thing I wanted to highlight. And also, so the reason why you guys are here, why I chose you, is that you were some of the most motivated people that really got dedicated to the fellowship. So I really respect your motivation, dedication. I think that's something that can be inspiring. So my question would be like, what what is the source of this for you, or like how do you keep yourself going? It's really a marathon. It's going to be 5 months. It was a long journey that took a lot of learning, a lot of a lot of challenges to solve. So yeah, how did you manage to stay dedicated? Yeah, what keeps you going, guys? Whoever feels like it, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think what kept me going is knowing that this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Like, I'm not sure if there's like been scenarios before where people join multiple EPFs. I don't think so. So like this is it. Like this is the best opportunity to prove myself. I was a stipended fellow, and because previously I had another job, but working on Ethereum during that time, like I did a PR or two, like on the side, but that was challenging because I just had no capacity. And like this opportunity to dedicate myself into my project fully uh, was great. And there was little time, like as Katja said, or Rahul said, there's little time, and one has to manage it. And knowing that I don't really have any time to waste motivated me. It was also a bit stressful, of course, but it was also motivating. And also all the great fellows like Katja and Rahul and all the others. Uh, it was just great working with them alongside, hearing every week what they've been up to. It's also, kind of a yeah, I guess yeah, it's really good to work with such awesome people. That motivated me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think uh, you know, I had no real big plans after the fellowship, but I was drawn into because the problems and the projects drafted by the code devs were incredibly challenging, and there were like genuinely new areas for you to work on that's manageable within the time period for fellowship. And then everyone around you and the coders are also very, very smart people. So it's really motivating to work alongside them and see how you can contribute. I mean, if you use your time right, you could make a meaningful difference in the Ethereum ecosystem, which I think is a great motivator.
Yeah, for me, I always had an inspiration about blockchain. So from the very beginning, it just captured me, the technology itself. So decentralized servers. So this is what I wanted to build from the very beginning. Yeah, I just had this long journey, which I didn't know how to start. But when I came to this point, like this is what I really wanted to do always. So I'm not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, this is just my place where it should be. This is how I feel, and I've read a lot of like books about blockchain technology, how it brings, so what it brings to people, the future possibilities. Yeah, at the very beginning, and it was really inspiring. So it still inspires me, and what we're building here is amazing. Actually, it's super cool technology. Yeah, I hope we will adopt it more and more.
I think these are all great answers. We get. I like that you guys have different perspectives, and everybody can find their own niche there. And I very much resonate with all of you. I mean, being part of Ethereum, something this special, this big, it's an honor. It's something that's really feels special to work towards. And folks, I want to ask you again to ask questions. You can raise your hand. You can write to the comments. You can write to the Discord chat, or maybe. The issue in GitHub. I'm also monitoring that. And we get the first questions come in. Harsh, you were the first one. Go ahead.
Wanted to ask, how did you manage your time commitments? Like, I'm still a university student, so I have to juggle between a lot of stuff, and EPF takes around like 25 to 30 hours per week, and I'm including weekends as well. So you must be having some full-time job or something, and EPF has to be a side thing or something. So how were you able to manage a lot of these things together? Given the fact that I get into a lot of rabbit holes, like I keep on researching about stuff and then start coding. So a lot of juggling between different things. Yeah, I would love to get some opinions on that.
My answer is very easy. So I was just fully in the fellowship, so I didn't have any other stuff to do. So I just fully in the fellowship. So unfortunately, I can't give you an advice.
Yeah, I was also focusing on the fellowship 100%. So no side job or anything. Like I had a tiny bit of university left, but that was not that significant. But in general, like time management is important, and for me, it was also very good that in the beginning, I guess it's the same this time, you have to write like a project proposal where you also have to define a certain timeline. And it's very important to keep those in mind and just treat them as deadlines. So if you realize that you would like to polish the phase one of your project more, that's tempting, but at some point you gotta move on to the further phases. So you either have to cut something or whatever. So just making sure that these goals or phases are important is good, and just internalize that this is not like a side thing, but if you have the time, really set aside specific time slots when you are going to work on EPF. Like if you are limited, just being like I'll squeeze it there and there is going to be hard. So just set aside fixed time each week for it. That makes it probably easier. Yeah.
And I would add to this, just try not to choose huge project which you can't deliver by the end of the week. So you can choose maybe something less like time consuming. So you could deliver it. If you don't know how much time it can take, you can just ask in the fellowship channel, like, is this huge project, or ask mentors. So I went through the ideas. So like a little bit can understand if it's like really huge job, really huge project or not. Or so, yeah, you can just ask.
Time it will take. So yeah, make sure to set the scope of your project correctly. Even if you're working just part time on the fellowship, like you can consider it's like a 2 month, 3 month project instead of 4 or 5 month. Consider that. And we have some questions in the comments before I continue on. We had one earlier from Nando. How long did it take to choose your projects? Or maybe if you can recall, not just the time, but I would reframe the question like also, what was your decision process there? If you can recall, like what made you choose the project? Yeah, what was the process?
For me, I think I wanted to work with a certain team that was Epsilon in EF. And then my project was selecting a team and then looking at their projects and reading more about it. Unfortunately, I was interested in one of the projects that the team had put out. So for me, the goal was probably to work closer with the team and then, choosing a project from them. And then, yeah, that's how I chose.
Yeah, same. So uh, I really like Rust, so I wanted to work on a Rust-based client. So that narrowed it down quite a bit. So looking at the project proposals, there are certain mentors, of course. So I try to pick something that was kind of close to a mentor from Sigma Prime or Paradigm. And also, I really like networking stuff. So that was also then like two birds with one stone, picking network simulations. Yeah, and also, I guess I wanted something that has a large part of implementation as well. Like there are a lot of projects which are more research adjacent, but I wanted to implement something. So that was also nice because with the simulations, I basically wrote a tool to make these simulations really easily runnable. So that combined this as well.
For me, I had an area which I was interested in before the fellowship, so it was DA layers, data availability layers. So I was trying to dive deeper into it, doing hackathons, like learning its part. And when I joined the fellowship, I was looking for something similar. So how can I dive into it deeper? So what's going on the Ethereum side, the protocol itself, and it was, as I said, like pure dust testing phase. And I kind of had this question: how can I help at this stage? So what can I do? So what problem can I solve, or how can I help? This is how I started to choose my project. I joined the calls. Yeah, I was trying to follow what's going on there, and that's how I find. So I was talking to different people, to mentors. So can I do this or this? So this is how I slowly find my project.
So much. We got a couple more questions in the hands up. So let's start with those first. So let's start with these. Chandra Prakash has a hand up. If you want to ask something.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mario. Thank you all of first of all came here and guiding us. I have the question regarding, especially to the Rahul because he works in the research team also, but kind of applied research team. But like you work on a research project, so how you like plan a research projects and how you maintain the rhythm with the theoretical research, and because like I feel like the project I choose is quite ambitious, but I'm thinking to divide into cutlet into sub problems and choosing out one of them. So like what your advice for me for this project?
Okay, I don't do blue sky research like in academia, but there are EIPs and proposals from E3 Research that our picks up, and I particularly look at the feasibility of implementation. So I look at a proposal and I look at how would implementation would that look like. So yeah, I don't do like a blue sky research where I pick a certain problem and try and come up with a solution. Is that similar for you, or are you like proposing a solution to a problem now?
Yeah, Rahul, like it's not similar to that. I'm thinking to proposing a solution to a problem. That's kind of project I have.
So I'll speak from consuming a solution side of things. If you find a problem that you think you have a good solution for, I think the best way is to talk to people in like who are experts in that area. Maybe give them a draft of what you think your solution could look like before you invest like too much time into like going deep into it. Getting feedback early would be really helpful. I mean, it could be that the solution that you're trying now has been tried already. So it's nice to like have a short proposal, talk to experts, and get some feedback early.
Okay, thank you, Rahul.
Yes, hi. I'm wondering, what's the most important thing you learned from the EPF last cohort? For example, if you do that again, if you got a chance to do that again, what do you think you would definitely try to do something better?
So the most important thing I learned from being in the ecosystem, especially the fellowship, is that um, like it's very the community is super open. So if you're willing to put in the time, people are really nice, and you can probably talk to anyone in the community. Mario and Josh are there to support you. So it's really a matter of picking something that you're really interested in, and b investing your time into it. And yeah, you'd be surprised how far you can go by doing these two things.
I don't know, nothing comes to my mind. Only the one thing that I could start learning protocol early. that's the only thing that comes to me. So yeah, this is how I could prepare. So maybe I don't know, like maybe I spend more time on GitHub or something like similar things. But yeah, I don't know, like I just learned a lot of things, and no matter like how you start, so you definitely need to learn a lot. So
Yeah, for me, I kind of wish I would have allocated my time a little bit different. I don't want to get into any technical details, but basically I had an implementation phase and then a simulation phase where I did all my network simulations. And on one hand, I kind of felt like I spent too much time on the implementation phase. On the other hand, if I had like, instead of like these main two phases where I first do the implementation and then the simulations, I should have done a bit more iteratively, like implement something, run some tests, and yeah, kind of to be able to adapt quicker. So I guess in a nutshell is try to be able to get preliminary findings early in order to not waste too much time on the wrong things. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It happens a lot in like a previous hackathon experience. Thanks a lot.
yeah, and probably keeping in touch with your mentor, that will help. So are you in the right direction? Are you progressing? So right. By the way, Mario, AI is not really good with protocol stuff, so just be careful without it.
Especially like in those areas where it's niche and you need to actually practice some skill. You will get you will get problems sooner or later with that. But we have a bunch of questions, so let's go to Shane now. Shane, please go ahead. And yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So when you were communicating with your mentors during the fellowship, what format seemed to work best for you? Was it mostly like DMs over Telegram, or just like PR feedback? did you ever have like direct calls with them? I understand that their time is very limited. You want to minimize your interaction, but just make sure you're every once in a while going in the right direction, as you all just kind of said. So just curious how y'all manage your relationships with them.
Good question. So as I mentioned before, I had Adrian from Lighthouse as a mentor, and I also had a second mentor, Pop from EF Research. And it was kind of different with both. So it definitely depends on also what your mentor prefers. But with H, I basically had on-demand calls. So weekly would have been a bit too much, both for me and for him. But a call was a really, really good avenue to get feedback with just talking things through, showing some results, and also of course, before those calls, it's really good to have like a nice write-up, but I guess there will be the weekly updates. So just informing them early of any roadblocks you have, and if necessary, having calls is good. With Pop, I had fewer calls, but a bit more PR reviews. Like he looked over the code I wrote for the simulations, and yeah. So it kind of depends. Is the answer. But calls are a good thing. Like a lot of people in the industry are like async only, or we really prefer async, like chats or DMs or periods. But calls really do have a huge value. So I recommend trying that.
Yeah, I had only, I guess, like a few calls, so I was worried about not to bother people that much, because when you're new, you definitely have a lot of calls. So I was trying to use like Discord async, just asking questions when I stuck. Yeah, it was a lot of self-learning, and yeah, but the calls are important when you have a bunch of questions. So when you feel you're stuck, or at the beginning, for example, just to set up everything. When you have already an open PR, yes, you can just interact through comments. You can mark your code. It depends on where you are on. So yeah, I also had calls. Yeah, and some questions in DMs in the group. So they kind of manage you. So okay, you can ask in this group if like, or let's go to DMs or something like this, or proper channel. So yeah, trying to find a balance.
For me, I think I slightly misunderstood the requirement of the project before the first call. So the first call was really important for setting the context of the project, and for me and my mentor to get on the same page. I think, yeah, you should do a call at least to understand the scope of the project, define the boundaries, and get to know your mentor. So an introductory call, and then probably like an async setup would work.
I didn't have even this privilege of Telegram DMs. Now we just use Discord. At least me.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, very well. And so yeah, we have a question from Irene coming after Shane. So please go ahead and ask.
Hi guys, thank you for all the answers. So I just picked the most interesting one, which is like what you wish you have known on day one that you only figure out towards the end. So something really useful that you like get to understand by almost the end of your project.
I would say even within your scope of work, nobody really is an expert on everything, right? If you pick up consensus or P2P, nobody has the entire stack memorized. So it's okay to like not know everything and like be in a niche, but you could do really good stuff like in the scope of the project that you're doing. So it's very easy to get overwhelmed like that. But everybody around you is not also like not an expert on everything. So that's kind of reassuring.
Sorry, I just didn't get the question. Maybe Mario, you can repeat because the sound was not good. Uh, the most one is the protocol is so interesting. It's so exciting. It's so many things you can dive into, and it's like never-ending story.
For me, one of the things is that I realized by the end how important it is to take good notes. So you're going to write these weekly updates, and really investing time in those is worthwhile, because I still reference those. Like we are still talking about the simulations at some points, because they're quite interesting and maybe promising to do it in a wider scope in Ethereum research, and just being able to point people to these now more than half a year old posts and being like, hey, look at this. It is worthwhile, and also for my own reference if I ever want to go back to that. So my advice would be to not have like 3 bullet points. Okay, sometimes that is unavoidable. Like sometimes you're just a week is kind of tedious and you don't get any meaningful results. But when there's something interesting, write it down nicely. Yeah.
I would also add that at the beginning, I would like to know good resources. So, because there are a lot of resources like research, like forums, videos. So the shortest way maybe is to ask a mentor where can I better get the links, the proper links I really need for my project. So just to shorten your time.
Yeah, sure. First, thank you all for speaking with us today. So I think some of you mentioned that you've worked in more traditional dev before. So my question was, what are some like pitfalls and common mistakes that people make when they're going from more traditional to open source and Ethereum development as a whole, and just things to look out for and how you made that transition?
That is a tricky one.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead, Katja.
no, go ahead.
It is hard to make like a generalized statement about that, because I only have been at one employer before. And yeah, it's of course a completely different world, like the open source ecosystem or general approach to working versus you go into an office daily and see all your colleagues. There are advantages and disadvantages to both of them. I guess the big difference is, of course, that you have a far wider audience with open source. So again, express your concerns with things well, because if you are being vague or anything, or things that might be conceived differently in like an office setting where everyone has a lot of context on the specific issue to look into. I kind of lost myself in that sentence, but yeah, just be aware that it can be a huge cultural difference, and this is a bit more socially, but for me, I like going to the office to meet my colleagues. I didn't really have that anymore during EPF because I was here working on my own. So try to connect to people somehow. Of course, the town halls are good for that, or the stand-ups. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, for me, I was just struggling a lot with GitHub. I always fucked up years, Mario. You remember? So I just spent some time. Okay, I need to just learn it how to do it properly and dive into it. So because my Web 2 experience, it wasn't open source, so I didn't use GitHub. So yeah, it was like corporate and. Oh, yeah, I struggled with it. I remember. In other ways, well, you have the specs, Ethereum specs, and they correlate at some point, like some functions with the clients. But there is also another part which is not exactly spec related, like all around like databases, caches, etc., etc. So you need to learn both, and also I don't know the basics of lib2p networking things. Yeah, you just probably you need to have an understanding of which parts like it consists on the at least top level. So just not diving into it. I think your like Web2 experience will definitely helpful here. So
Yeah, I think all the technical skills from Web2 are transferable directly to what you do in Web3 is just like software, right? But working in open source, I think people working on all the projects across the ecosystem are very busy. So if you want to contribute something, maybe pick something small. If you should always try and use the software uh, where you're trying to contribute. And if you genuinely find something that you can fix or add as a feature, probably create an issue if it's not already there, communicate what you're trying to work on, and then be nice to people and iterate on that. People are generally very welcoming. So if you give them something small to review or to start with, where they have enough context, whether that's an issue or something like a conversation, they respond well. Like versus creating a big PR out of the blind and asking them to review.
Great point of view there. We are building, or we have fellowship and Ethereum. It's a bazaar, right? It's not a cathedral. So having your Git skills and your open source mindset ready for the fellowship is very important. And now we have some more questions in the chat, but feel free to also raise your hand. We still have space for a couple. The one that I see, this one is very optimistic. So just yeah, give him the business, guys. Like, what's the best course of action if you finish your selected project ahead of time, like 1-2 months ahead? I'm not sure if that ever happened. So I would maybe rephrase it a bit in a sense like. If there are multiple things you want to work on, right? Like how to focus on your preference, how to figure out what's the right thing if you're in between, or if you please crush their dreams. Like I just want to ask you guys, like if somebody like if they imagine that they can do like 2 projects in a fellowship, so how please crush their dreams about this. Like tell them it's not possible. So because they don't trust me, obviously, yeah.
is it like protocol related question? I mean, the projects, like fellowship projects or side projects?
Or like Katia, like you're a good example. Like you followed up on your project, right? Like you continued working on your project. So maybe if you can talk a bit about this experience, like what is it like to you finish the project. There is still more steps to do. So yeah, how do you go about this? What was the experience like for you, doing something as a part of the fellowship, then continuing independently?
When you just like your project, it's like your child. So you you put a lot of efforts into it. You understand its usefulness, like how it should work. You see the light at the end. So like you have some expectations how it should work. You want it work as it is. So yeah, just go on with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
With regards to finishing the project early, as Mario said, it's quite impossible because no matter how small you think the problem is or how well you think understood it at the end of the preparation phase, that's only like the tip of the iceberg. Like once you get started working on it, you think about it in a whole different way, and you'll find ways to wait, but can I do this or that, or oh, there's this related topic, maybe I can somehow integrate with that, or how can I build upon it? And then you get all these ideas, and maybe you finish the original scope. You won't finish it much earlier, but there will be like a lot of interesting things that you encounter or will be thinking about. So it will come quite naturally to fill the time. Like, don't worry about that.
Yeah, for the ECC conference, just curious how you would say to maximize your time there. Like going, obviously, to maybe catch some talks, but would you recommend trying to go to some Ethereum specific meetups, side events? How would you maybe have done it differently if you could do it again, that type of thing?
well, I couldn't, unfortunately. I didn't get visa, so I couldn't, unfortunately, come to HCC. Yeah, so but I can share my Bangkok experience. So I mostly went to core protocol talks. I was hanging out on the core protocol section. That's how it worked for me. So besides the EPF, of course, the first place. So you need to make your presentation, finish your job, and for SCC, start your job. So yeah, other talks were mostly for me are protocol related. So for example, like you don't need that much of DeFi stuff for protocol development. So you can just, yeah. But whenever your interests are, so you can choose, why not?
I would uh I was at ETC and I really liked it. Not only because of the talks, but also because it was an opportunity to meet your fellow fellows, because it kind of elevated them from just being a face and like a weekly update to someone, right? And that's hugely motivating to get the people you are working with either directly if you team up for some project or indirectly via EPF. It's really motivating to spend some time with them. So I would not plan to go like just to talks like the whole week. Make some space for the fellows and ping your mentor if they are around, or if someone from the same team as the mentor is around, because getting to know these people as well can really help just to make them aware that you exist. Kind of, yeah. So yeah, networking is very important.
just good luck, guys. Choose your project, love it, care about it. Just yeah, we'll be happy to join all your talks and yeah, do your best and enjoy the protocol.
Yeah, all the best, and I'm looking forward to see what projects are coming out of this. And thanks for having me.
No, I think yeah. Good luck, guys. I think it's a great opportunity that you guys have. Really looking forward to what you guys will offer.
Work hard and enjoy. And we also in the channel, talk a fellowship channel. If there are any questions, just tag us and maybe like related project or something, or you need some links or whatever. And use protocol wiki, like our wiki, EPF wiki, because it's from fellows to fellows.
We will meet again on Monday. We will have a stand-up session where everybody will just give update on your current research, current project research, and also for this we opened a thread in Discord apart from the weekly threads where you push your project updates. We have a thread dedicated to signaling what projects you are currently looking into. Again, this is not some sort of like commitment. It's just to let other people know what you are researching right now. Please don't settle on anything yet. You still have a bunch of time. So yeah, also write some updates there. So yeah, that's it. And I'll see you all on Monday. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, it was real great. Some great questions, great answers. It was awesome. Very well. Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Daniel, Katja, Raul, and we'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys.